December, a day set aside to create awareness about the HIV virus. And of course, this is Body Garage with me, Beatrice Watare. This is the art of well-being. And of course, the numbers are on the rise, especially during this festive season. And today we have a wonderful episode lined up for you. We are at the Komarok Modern Healthcare, and this is where we got to interact with a doctor who got to help us understand all about the HIV virus. But of course, we will be diving into that later into the episode. Right now, let's check out the statistics. According to the National HIV/AIDS Strategy, there were approximately 38.4 million people across the globe with HIV in 2021. Of these, 36.7 million were adults and 1.7 million were children. In addition, 54% were women and girls. An estimated 1.5 million individuals worldwide acquired HIV in 2021, marking a 32% decline in new HIV infections since 2010. According to UNICEF, the number of children living with HIV in Kenya fell from 180,000 in 2010 to 111,500 in 2020. Partially due to improved access to services, including for more pregnant women. However, infections rates among young people 15 to 24 years of age remain concerning. In 2020, they accounted for 35% of new infections, with 2/3 of cases among young women. In Homa Bay, one of the worst affected counties, gender inequality, difficulties in accessing services, and poverty are fueling high rates of unintended pregnancies and HIV. Rural areas in Kenya recorded the highest rate of HIV/AIDS prevalence as compared to urban areas, with counties along the Lake Victoria region grabbing the top slots. Now, as we have looked into the statistics, HIV virus is a virus that has taken over multitudes and multitudes of people, especially the youth. And it's really significant to have this particular discussion today, being the World AIDS Day, which comes every 1st of December. And I'm joined by Dr. Wainaina. Habari yako?
Good. Yeah, asante sana.
Yeah. Maybe you can introduce yourself. So what do you do here?
Okay, so I'm Dr. Wainaina, general practitioner based at Komarok Modern Utawala. So my work involves management, basically from surgical to medical management. Yeah, we are the few who are called jack of all trades. We can be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a master of all.
Yeah.
Not of none.
A master of all.
Oh, yes. All right. Yeah. So, Dr. of course, the conversation today is all about the HIV virus and the AIDS syndrome as well. Yes. But most importantly, let's get to understand what is HIV and what is AIDS.
Okay. So, by definition, HIV, it's just an abbreviation, which is a human immunodeficiency virus. This is a virus that attacks the body and lowers the body immunity, as the word suggests. And its presentation, it's usually some kind of a unique presentation, if I may use that word, because after 2 weeks after someone has gotten to be infected with the virus, all they will present with is flu-like symptoms. Yeah, they will appear to have a cough, generalized body weakness, and that one will disappear after some few days. Then later on, given that this person has not taken any medication, they will start to present with other symptoms, which can be like a generalized body weakness. They might have a body rash. Some may present with a cough, and some other may present with a generalized gastrointestinal issues, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, just like that. And before someone gets to be tested, they will not even tell, like, yes, this is it or this is another disease. Yeah, they will get to have a test before they know what exactly they are ailing from. Yeah, and now the difference between HIV and AIDS is that after someone goes for a longer duration without getting treatment for the HIV,
yes,
they will get to transition to the AIDS now, yeah, which now AIDS by definition is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome,
yes,
of which when we say someone has a syndrome, in medical terms we mean it's a cascade of events, it's an array of many things that are happening into this person's body. By then the virus has been able to attack almost every system in the body.
Right.
Yes.
All right. And it's really significant to understand that one may lead to the one actually leads
Yeah, one
to the
actually
other.
leads to the other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So after, now you've mentioned that within 2 weeks you might, exhibit some symptoms here and there, flu-like symptoms.
Yes.
And I do understand that it's only after 3 months, that is the window period,
Yes.
that one can test positive.
Yes.
So that, does it mean that within these 3 months the patient might be exhibiting so many, infections here and there, and how intense are they within those 3 months?
Yeah, by the time the infection has taken place, before you get to that, in that time when it's got to be tested and you are found like, yes, now this is positive,
Yes.
one will present with many kind of infections. Reason why your immunity is being lowered. So the body immune system does not fight those opportunistic infections or those small infections that someone might present with. And the infections, since they are not specific, they might tend to confuse someone, yeah? And you wonder what's happening with your body. It's only that the immunity has dropped to the extent that it has opened the doors, if I may use that word too, an array of infections where most of them will present, or they will be in and out of hospital with respiratory issues.
Yes.
Mostly they will have a cough, they will go and be told that you have pneumonia. After 2 weeks of using the medication, the pneumonia will clear, they will go back with another infection. If it's not an infection, they will go back with an issue with the abdomen. They've been having abdominal pain, vomiting, though when it's tested. For the usual suspects, they are not found.
Yeah.
And over before someone goes to get tested and then they are found what's ailing them, it's usually a bit of a delay, because one will be in and out of hospital with no disease as per se, which is being noted. And as per the tabia ya Kenya, before you go to hospital, you first go to over-the-counter medications. You go to the chemist to get some few medications there. You relax at home. Then by the time that is being known, it's a bit late.
And some consult Dr. Google because
mostly
all it is Google.
Mostly,
it tells you you were supposed to die yesterday. It's crazy. So now, Daktari, diving deep into, after one has tested positive, what are the very first steps that doctors take in order to help this patient?
Okay, that's a good question. Now, before someone is even tested for HIV, if you decide to walk to a certain facility, to a certain clinic, first of all, you have to be done a bit of counseling so that you can expect how the results are going to come out. We usually assume that whoever is coming for the testing, it's either they have a thought that maybe they could be positive, or they had some exposure that they want to alleviate the doubt. Or sometimes you can even have some couples who are coming for testing even before they start planning for their future. So they will have to go undergo that counseling session and to expect what to get. Then the blood sample is drawn, and it's run via 2 methods, where you have the first response test, which is usually the major one that you'll find in many facilities. And let's say the test is positive, it will need to be done a bit of confirmation even before someone is told, now here are your results. Like in what you usually see in VCTs, mostly what they have is a test called a determined test. It's the one that is usually done by most areas, but after it has tested positive, someone can be sent to a certain area to go for confirmation by either DNA or ELISA. After the tests are done and they have, let's say someone has tested positive, still you have post-counseling. Whichever way, if the tests are positive or negative, you still have counseling, so that you can be able to understand, why did this person decide to do this test? Are they fearing something? Have they been exposed? Do they need to change their ways? Things like that, But if someone turns positive, as per the guidance, it's usually advised to start the medication as soon as possible.
Immediately.
Yes, immediately. Unless someone has symptoms that are suggestive that they have TB, which is tuberculosis, that is. If they have symptoms of TB, and you have to investigate that first. See if the TB is positive or negative, whether you are going to use an X-ray or you are going to do the ile ya kupima kikohozi, which is called gene expert. And if it's positive, the TB, that is, you first treat the tuberculosis, then you progress on. After 2 weeks, you start now giving the person ARVs.
And is it because this other is a bacterial and the HIV is viral, or why?
No. The reason is that with initiation of antiretrovirals, that are the ARVs, your body or someone's body will start to develop immunity. And when they start developing that immunity, that is by the fighter cells, which are used, the white blood cells being aggregated to go and fight the infections, and also the CD4 being boosted. If they have tuberculosis and you start the medications on the same time, the body will have that hyper responsiveness towards that TB infection, and it will actually create a complication in which it can even be fatal sometimes. And the name of the condition is called TB iris, which is immune reconstitutive syndrome, and that's the iris part. And you have to lower the bacteria first, so that by the time that you are introducing now the HIV medication, the ARVs, we meet the body, which the bacterial load, it's not as high as you would expect for someone who they are starting the medication all together at the same time.
Wow, and I think that's a very important aspect and uncommon, I would say, because I feel like I've gotten that information for the very first time since I started learning about HIV and AIDS. But thank you very much, Dr. Wanena, for that particular aspect. And I think even as people try to go get tested, they should also have the knowledge, because sometimes you may be the one unafunza daktari.
True.
So we'll be taking a really short break, but once we get back, it's diving deep into the HIV AIDS, the whole bit of it all together, and to also understand how medication looks like and what you need to put into consideration whenever you're trying to take your ARVs. So please do not go far.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Sonadol Extra imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli kupambana haraka na maumivu ya kichwa, mwili na hata meno. Sonadol Extra, hakika maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
This is Doha, this is Qatar. We come together tonight, a billion of us, in every corner of the globe where the beautiful game matters.
Here for the show-stopping magic of a moment.
Get a DStv decoder with 1 month of compact for only 3,999 Kenyan shillings to watch all 64 matches here for every fun.
Usiyakubalie maumivu ya misuli kukatiza ratiba yako. Kaluma Pain Balm ni dawa ya kusugua iliyotengenezwa kutoka kwa miche maalum ili kutuliza maumivu ya misuli. Kaluma Pain Balm. Maumivu yakizidi, pata pata ushauri wa daktari.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Yeah, so welcome back. I'm joined by Dr. Wainaina, and of course we are talking about HIV AIDS. Remember, this is World AIDS Day, being the 1st of December. And of course, the whole topic and everything around it is really fundamental, especially right now when we're headed into the festivities. But first of all, maybe, Daktari, before we even go too far, we have been able to look at the symptoms. We've gotten to also have an insight into how it looks like, what it does to the body of the infected person. But now let's get to understand, after medication and this positive patient has gotten the ARVs, so what's the significance of ARV medication?
Okay, so basically the ARV medication, they are used to boost the body immunity. Remember, what HIV does is to lower the body immunity and open it to an areas of infection. So the medication will help in a way to improve on the CD4 and the CD8, which are body-specific agents that are used to fight viral infection. And with that, you find that someone's, after using the medication, the viral load, which is now the number, the virus number of the HIV in someone's body, will start to go low. And with that, they will start to improve on those symptoms that we had mentioned earlier. That will find someone does not present with active infections, the body will start to become well adapted to the conditions and the changes. They will start to gain weight if they are losing weight. The gastrointestinal issues will disappear after someone starts to use the medication. And when someone starts using those medications, it's usually advisable that after 6 months of using those medications, it's good to do a viral load. Remember, before someone starts to use the ARVs, you have to do a viral load to check on the initial count of the virus that they have. Then after 6 months, you do a viral load so that you can know, are we having treatment failure or do we need to continue with the same ARVs? Because everyone, after being diagnosed to have a HIV, they are given medications based on some few things, based on their age, based on their gender, and also based on their kidney functions. Yes.
Okay. So there's a lot that goes into, the considerations of the amount or even the type of ARV medication that one gets.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think over time, I think we can appreciate the fact that the drugs, long time ago, I understand zilikuwa mob, like you just get a whole, this and this and this and that. But nowadays, I hear it's reduced into one tablet. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. Initially, you get 3 different medications, but of late, after the developmentation that has been done, after research, it has been found that one tablet can incorporate 3 medications at once, at a go. Instead of someone having to swallow 3 tablets which are separate, they will just need to swallow just 1 tablet for a single day. So it means when you take someone takes the medication in the morning, they don't need to take it in the evening. And that one relieves them of the pill burden. Given that we used to get a lot of people not being compliant with the medication, given that the pill load was very high. And then you'll find that someone is taking 3 medication, they are told they have to take another 5 medication. By the end of the day, someone will be taking at least 10, and it's not even possible to be doing that every day.
Every day for the rest of your life.
For the rest of their life. And you see, technology came to help in this instance. Also, there is still development for developing a vaccine. It hasn't been released yet into the market, but research is still ongoing.
Okay,
Yeah.
and there are steps to actually lead us to having a vaccine of the same.
Yes.
And I think that is not, a ticket for people to not be careful.
That's true.
Because at the end of the day, you have to really, really pay keen attention into your health and everything, that comes with it. So maybe now looking at the fact that we've gotten to understand, after you take the ARVs, this is what it does to your body, reduces that viral load. Now, from your experience, from, having these patients around, do people really pay keen attention to the 6 months period in which you're supposed to come back and check on your viral load?
Yes. With good counseling, before someone takes the medication, they get to understand what they are getting themselves into. Most of them do understand. But you'll find a group of people who sometimes they may fail because of one reason or the other. One being the high cost of the viral load. There are some centers which have come up and they do help in reducing on that burden of the cost of the viral load test. But sometimes you'll find someone from, let's say they are in the village, deep in the up country. Sometimes it may be not a good area for them to start the medication.
Yeah.
That one thing, they'll be facing stigma. When they go for that viral load, they are told like the tests are not there.
Yeah.
And they'll have to spend a lot of time before they even go to get the test. So many reasons may contribute, but someone, if they are well advised, yes, they do. They do go back for those testings and they do follow up on the counseling of the same. Yes.
That's great. That's amazing. And I think even mentioning the fact that now we've gotten to a point whereby you don't have to stress so much about the medication. I mean, if you can take one tablet in a day, then that means you only remember you're positive in the morning.
Yeah.
When you take your drug and you move along, properly. And maybe, of course, next week we'll definitely be diving deep into understanding the nutritional bit of it. But I think it's important for us to also mention it now, especially when it comes to you have already tested positive, you're on the journey, on the journey to your recovery. What kind of nutrition or even lifestyle habits do you have to, adapt to?
Yeah, definitely there's going to be some changes when someone starts to take the medication. Remember, these medications are very strong. One thing that I usually tell someone is that make sure that in every meal that you take, that it is balanced. It should contain everything that is essential for your body to develop. Yeah, and the other thing is to do some exercise. People with sedentary lifestyle, you tend to see they will obviously come back with other issues. Remember, HIV, as I said, the infection itself, it affects the whole body. Not only that the virus will be in the body, but it will even affect the heart. It will make some changes to the kidneys. And if someone remain in a sedentary lifestyle or they involve themselves in indulging in alcohol and all sorts of things, they may expose themselves to other issues. So there are some changes that need to be done, both nutritional-wise and physical-wise. Yes.
Yeah, and all this now help to contribute to the overall well-being of the person.
Yeah, true.
Because I've met people who are HIV positive, but of course you don't even see it. You can't tell because they are keen to their medication. One, they are keen to their nutrition and also their lifestyles. They've made some adjustments here and there. And I think it's also important to now understand some of the myths and misconceptions that may be there, because I think part of why we have so much stigma around is because even the people who are negative don't have enough information on how to deal with someone who is HIV positive. So maybe we can dive deep into understanding what are some of the ways that you cannot get the virus and what are some of the ways you can also get the virus.
Yeah, there has been myths ever since the time that we came to know of HIV, since 1988, when they started doing this World AIDS Day. And as per now, you can relate with someone who is positive. You can greet them, you can hug them without getting getting to be infected, because it doesn't transmit that way. Yeah, the only ways that have been proved is by sharing of body secretions. Where we are, in this case, we see having unprotected intercourse, sharing of needles for those drug users, and sometimes you can say kissing, but it doesn't expose someone as the way that you used to know when you were growing up. You can almost have your best friend being HIV positive and support them through the journey, because you will not get infected at all. And also for those guys who are infected, it's not the end of the world.
Oh, true.
You know, initially when someone was told like you are now positive, you were like, oh my God. But for now, someone can live to see their great grandchildren with having no issue at all. It's only dependent on their self preparation, exercise, diet, having nothing to, you have nothing to lose basically.
And I think once you accept the situation, or rather the condition you're in, and now you start on the journey of giving yourself the life that you deserve, HIV positive or not, because I've seen them moving along their lives like nothing happened. It's just normal. It's really, really normal. Only that now you have to be really careful with the things you eat, what you do during your free time. All you're doing is actually, you know, bettering your life for yourself.
True. And also to add on that, these days when someone is told, like for ladies, if they are told they are HIV positive, doesn't mean that they will never have children. They can have children and the children will be negative. They don't need to fear about it when they are told that they are positive. Only to accept the journey with good counseling, good family support, because I know with family support and friend support, that's basically what people may lack. Because you find someone, if they are told they are positive, they will not disclose that to their closest friends. They will not even want to have a counseling sessions most of them. First of all, what they will feel like is like this is the death sentence that they are subjected to, but it's no longer the case.
Things have gotten better, and I believe that even with the government having the Vision 2030 to reduce the number of infections, we can only get there if at all people are strict to their medication, because if you reduce the viral load, then you reduce the infections. You reduce you yourself transmitting it to another person. So thank you very much, Dr. Wainaina. It's been amazing. And thank you so much for the words of comfort also to the people who are positive. They should know you can lead a positive life, whether you're positive or negative. I mean, it's just about the attitude at the end of the day. And I mean, of course, we cannot finalize on this episode without talking to one of the infected patients who right now, his viral load is actually at 0% because he has paid keen attention to medication, nutrition, and everything he needs to in order to lead a healthy lifestyle. So please do not go far.
You are watching TV 47, the home of untold stories.
Mount Kenya University takes pride in being an academic giant with some of the best infrastructure, imparting knowledge to the best brains in the country and the region. Our members of faculty are keen to deliver market-driven programs in science and humanities with a keen focus on linkages with relevant organizations. Join us today and train with the best to become the best. Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities.
It has over 80,000 members, with its presence felt through 10 branches in Kiambu and Nairobi, with an asset base of 4 billion Kenya shillings.
TISACO was founded way back in 1992 by tea farmers.
We decided to change the name from Kiambu Tea Growers Sacco now to TISACO, so that we can be able to bring on board other sectors, for someone, teachers.
We have the M-banking service. Our members can be able to transact at the comfort of their homes.
We have some in the US, Dubai, in the UK as well.
TI is the Kiswahili name for ego. It has focus.
Sikuwa na mashine hata moja, tulikuwa tunaosha na mikono. I was able kupata loan ya kwanza 80,000, nikanunua mashine ya kwanza.
Nilienda nikapewa pesa ya loan, nikanunua ng'ombe, nikaongeza sababu nilikuwa na moja.
TAISACO's 30 years journey has been a game changer to all our members.
We got 40 million from TAI with easy payment terms. I will not hesitate to recommend TAI to any business person.
This is Doha. This is Qatar.
How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Now, we've had an intel on the statistics and also learned that HIV has over time become something so rampant, and most people are dying because of defaulting in medication. And sometimes, you know, the stigma, it just messes everything up. But on this particular segment, I love it personally because I will be having a lovely conversation with Antony Chege. I think most of you have probably seen him on TikTok. He's always raising the awareness about not defaulting in ARV medication. And of course, I'm joined with him today. Antony Chege, habari yako?
Vizuri sana. Endelea poa. Yeah.
How are you feeling today? How is your energy today?
I'm just feeling energetic, happy.
Yeah, you have something on your shirt. Umetuambia, I love myself. Yeah. I never miss a day. This is something that you've been championing for, push, but I feel like even before people understand what it's about, let's first of all understand your story and what happened. You were born with the virus, as you told me.
Yeah.
You know, tell us, how is it? How is the experience being born with the virus?
Being born with the virus is not an easy thing, first of all, because number one, you always ask yourselves a lot of questions. Why me? Why always me? You see? Because wengine unapata most of the people out there, they are negative, they are born negative. But nowadays unakuja kujua nobody should be born positive because kuko na technology. So when you are born positive, sometimes you ask yourself, why me? You see? Because again, you face a lot of stigma when you are growing. You see? So you always face a lot of questions in your life.
Yeah, and I think you've had a share of that as well. But let's focus on the discrimination part of it. I understand that this has been something in imekuwa. You explained to me you suffered from discrimination as well growing up. But what have you seen from people, especially those born with the virus? How has it been from people you've interacted with?
It has not been easy because most of them, when they are maybe like on their education section, like in primary school, high school, they always face a lot of rejection, a lot of discrimination, because most of the time you may meet like some who are positive wanakuwa pushed away.
Yeah.
You see, because the other people who are negative or who thinks they are negative since they have not been tested, they always see them as like they are an outcast in the society. Because number one, wanajua ile ya class 4 ukimwi ni ugonjwa mbaya. So the moment someone knows you are positive, they always see death in you.
Yeah.
Because people knows when you are positive, you are dead.
Yeah.
It's like you are someone who is walking, but you are still dead. You see? So unapatanga most of the time, kama uko positive, like those guys unapatanga like ni plebs time, unapata wanapewa like a group of like 5 people.
Yeah.
Kuna a section maybe wameambiwa na mwalimu wao, they have to discuss. Unapata kuna watu wanakuja wanakuambia Tony, mimi nakuwa discriminated because I'm positive, unapata unakuwa pushed away. And some of the teachers hawa work on it kwanza ku-educate people about HIV. Unapata situation zingine like mtu ni kama mnakulania chakula, mtu anaona wakikula pamoja na wao it's like atakuwa infected.
Yeah.
Mwingine anaona like kuna mtu ashaini disclose ananiambia ako in a relationship but after disclosing status yake kwa partner wake, unapata hadi mkikisa na tema mate. So huyo mtu anakudiscriminate mkiwa naye hapo, what if time yenye ako na huko nje? How is the stigma out there? So still stigma exists na inawa affect sana.
Yeah, and maybe looking at the stigma bit of it, I think it may affect vitu nyingi, especially hata venye wasi wanameza dawa na vitu kama hivyo. I don't know from your experience yenye umepitia, the challenges is how when you were discriminated, the stigma ni nini imecause kwa life yao, their work environment, even venye wanameza hizo dawa.
Hiyo stigma wanga ina cause watu ku default medication. Because the moment unapata watu wana kudiscriminate, as in they are talking more about you because you are positive. Most of them they lack the courage ya kutake their medication.
Yeah.
Unapata mtu mwingine alikuwa anakunywa dawa zake vizuri, alikuwa on the line vizuri kukunywa dawa zake, but the moment ameanza kuona venye anatritiwa na watu, yeye ana lose hope na life, anaachana na dawa zake. Na the moment anaanza kuacha kukunywa hizi dawa, unapata the viral load starts to rise.
Yeah.
And when the viral load imeanza kwenda juu, it means the copies of the virus vinalize kabisa. Na the copies zikilize, unakuanga vulnerable kupata opportunistic infection. And when you are vulnerable to those opportunistic infection, body yako inakuwa weak. Your body becomes weak. So unapata wengi, hiyo discrimination ina lead to death of some people.
Yes.
Because the moment amediforce dawa, hakunanga option. You still...
Yeah, ni kweli. And I think what you're saying is really important because even from the interviews we've had, I think tumekuwa na interview kibao, nime notice that actually in every situation, hata si mambo hata na tuweke hata HIV kando, the moment msee amekosa kujiaccept, because na feel hiyo ndio shida, hiyo kujiaccept.
Yeah, acceptance is everything and loving yourself, nothing more.
Na ndio maana umesema hapo, I love myself, I never miss a day. What does that mean for you?
To me, I love myself, I never miss a day. First of all, when you are positive, make sure you love yourself. Because hakuna mtu mwingine atakupenda more than you love yourself. Again, never miss a day in ARVs. Because the moment you miss a day, you are giving the virus a chance to be the boss.
Yeah.
And we want to be the boss for the virus.
Yes, that is all that matters, right? Absolutely. And I think that is what we are going to cover even in the second bit, because it's important for people to understand why you should not miss a day. And I think you people have seen him on TikTok. I've seen one of your videos, umeka kangoma kazuri kanaimba kwa background, and you're taking your drugs and you're saying, I love myself, I never miss a day. And you mentioned that you only remember you're HIV positive asubuhi unapomeza dawa. And I think this is where we want to be, right? You mentioned to me the Vision 2030 when it comes to HIV. What is it?
The Vision 2030 is we end new HIV infection.
Yes.
As in, those who are positive right now, they should have reduced their viral load, suppressed their viral load. Because when people are undetectable, the chances of transmitting the virus are zero.
Exactly. And I think that is what we are going to be talking about in the next part. So yeah, let's take a short break and we'll be back in a few.
You are watching TV 47, the home of untold stories.